We'll take a look at our tail of the tape, brought to you by Next Level Hydrogen Water. Taylor Johnson, 2 years older. He is 3 inches shorter. He weighed in 2 pounds lighter.
How's Kevin dropping the tip?
But he's a long-armed individual. Only a 1-inch reach disadvantage
but then
on
he dropped
Taylor Johnson.
We could have a healing.
3-inch reach advantage on the leg.
A little over the line. Good thing it's him and no one from our company.
And there is Poppeck, a guy who really means business, very aggressive striker, one of the top prospects out of Europe. I tried to check out the gym last night, and he was in there shadow boxing, and I was like, I'm not opening that door. He looked very serious. He was taking up a lot of room in the gym as well. And there is Taylor Johnson. Out of his 7 wins, all 7 are by finish. You got to watch out for his hands. He's heavy hands, but also a very good grappler, so that gives him options. This should be a fun one.
There's our referee, Larry Folsom. 3 5-minute rounds of pro light heavyweight mixed martial arts action. Remember, PFL Challenger Series, 4 winners at the end of the night get narrowed down to 2 finalists by the league. One of those individuals will receive a contract, and that will start potentially a $1 million journey. Johnson in the light gray, Poppeck in the dark.
Just the way that both these guys fight, I'd be very surprised if this one goes the distance. Both very aggressive. There's a nice takedown there from Johnson.
Johnson came in behind the left hand and blasted through Alexander Poppeck. Gets this one down to the ground with less than 30 seconds gone in the first round. I'm curious, Kenny, to see how the results of our last bout affect the strategy for both of these individuals. You saw Brucey Soto get a highlight finish. You know that only one contract is going to be awarded at the end of tonight. Might be a motivator to be seeking finish, riskier techniques, etc.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, if they're watching, they're definitely going to get very aggressive. They need to stand out here and impress the celebrity panelists. All the while, make sure that they are being able to get the win and impress the fans that are watching. So right now, Johnson's trying to get the back of Poppeck away from the cage, try to get him pinned to the mat. See if he can do that here.
Johnson controlling the legs. He's mounted actually on the legs of Alexander Poppeck. He's got the figure-4 lock. Poppeck does a great job of getting one leg out. That's his left leg. Posting now on his left hand, trying to gain some elevation here. Head position here from Taylor Johnson. You heard Ray Lewis talking about that earlier in the night in our first bout. That is a key to control against the cage.
Herr Poppeck's in a much better position now. Now back to his feet.
Strong whizzer from Poppeck. And look, he's just a big, strong guy. 6'3", true 205-pounder. Taylor Johnson has fought in lower weight classes before, although with that musculature, I'm not sure how he ever made it down that far.
Right now, Poppeck doing a good job of framing that leg on the outside of the leg of Johnson so he can't get a takedown. Johnson almost got a lift there, though.
You also should evaluate the economy of motion right now. He's in the clinch against a cage. Is he going to get the takedown? If he does, he's going to do damage there. So right now, he needs to really evaluate. Am I going to get this takedown, or should I let go and come up swinging?
Decisions for Taylor Johnson, who finds himself in a controlled position here. Poppeck, of course, the onus is on him. He's got to get himself out of this spot. Heavy pressure from the American.
Looks good. Take your time.
Well, it's tough because for Johnson, yes, he can strike, but he definitely has the advantage in the grappling realm. Poppeck, much more experience with his striking.
Yes, inside, outside. Keep working on that. Keep going.
See, you know what's interesting is when people see this at home and they're like, "Oh man, they're just against." But it's that one move that if you make the wrong move, it goes really bad very quickly. So for them to be pinned up against it, that was a lot of strategy going on mentally. This is going to be a really interesting round to finish it off.
Folsom, our referee, separates them, and back to the center of the cage they go. A couple of kicks here from Alexander Poppeck.
And Poppeck's another guy, you got to watch out for those knees coming right down the middle. That would be a nice way to counter that level change from Johnson.
Interesting. You see Poppeck kind of lowering his level, fighting with a wide stance, bending a little bit. Taylor Johnson fighting very upright.
Yeah, he is. You see him, he's very relaxed, very patient.
Well, we talked about this when we were discussing things in the pre-show. Taylor Johnson has been on big stages before. He's fought in Bellator. He's fought a Contender Series fight for the UFC. He's here in the Challenger Series for perhaps his kind of last shot at making a jump to the big leagues, and he's showing some real poise.
Yeah, definitely. He's fought some really good talent as well. Ed Ruth, Andre Muniz. So he definitely knows what it's like to fight a high-level and elite opponent. Oh, nice uppercut there by Poppeck. Not sure it landed clean, though.
High kick glances off the guard there of Taylor Johnson as well. Poppeck trying to work himself into a striking groove here. Johnson a couple of kicks to the body of the jab. Searching left hook there from Poppeck. Johnson comes in behind the jab, and now winging the right hand. Nice head movement there by Poppeck to stay underneath.
And this is where Poppeck needs to lead the dance. He needs to back up Johnson and use those long-range weapons and keep Johnson on the outside.
Round one will come to a close with a little blood on the brow of Taylor Johnson, who spent a lot of time pressing Alexander Poppeck up against the barrier, but there was not any meaningful offense landed. That was just a controlled position, which of course begs the question of how commission judges are going to call a round like that. If there's nothing really meaningful happening in those 2-minute or 3-minute stalemates, oftentimes it comes down to what happens when you reset and you're at distance. Take a look at the replay here, Kenny.
It was a good start for Johnson. Nice level change there. Drove all the way through, kept those legs going, hit the takedown there. Some knees up against the clinch there, up against the cage from Johnson. They were later separated. And then it was Poppeck who had some good moments on the feet as well. And there's the uppercut. Looked like it was a little collision of heads, but I'm not sure it really was significant.
Might have been what caused the little cut there as Taylor Johnson reaches for that eyebrow. Nothing to be mad about, totally inadvertent on the headbutt there.
Yeah, that's right.
If anything, he's the one who initiated it. Second round, 5 minutes gone already here. Poppeck tests another high kick. That's the third or fourth of those he's thrown. Retreating now as Johnson presses forward.
Johnson doing a good job at attacking that body with that lead left kick.
Yep. Alexander Poppeck, one of the highest rated European prospects in the world right now. Coveted unsigned talent, but he's got to win here to keep the hopes of the PFL invitation alive. Taylor Johnson wears a couple of punches. Nice combination there from Poppeck, a 1 and a 2.
Yeah, it looked like that last combination was able to open up that cut again. And this is where Poppeck needs to be. This is where he's finding the most amount of success, when he's coming behind that jab, backing up Johnson repeatedly.
He's got Johnson back to where he can't retreat any further. Nice circling out there by Johnson. A little more comfort, it appears, from Poppeck now, stringing some combinations together. Jab and a right hand there from Taylor Johnson. 90 seconds gone in round number 2.
Nice, stay in position the whole time. Hips to there, hips to there. Keep touching.
Kenny, what is Poppeck trying to set up with those inside leg kicks?
Yeah, it seems like he's trying to set up that left hook or overhand right off of that inside leg kick.
Hey, there's Jeremy Piven, one of our celebrity panels.
I feel like at any moment, you know, he's going to connect here and someone could go to sleep because there's power in that right hand. He's dragging him around. Oh, yeah.
Nice shot and a reshot there from Taylor Johnson as Poppeck had almost successfully defended this takedown.
Get the bottom leg out.
Johnson drags the German.
Pull him off the cage when you can. Beautiful. See that hip. See that hip lock.
And the control on the legs, that's one thing that you'll see from Taylor Johnson. He immediately tries to climb on top of the German's legs,
Keep working.
take away the base from Alexander
Keep breathing,
Poppeck.
brother. Keep breathing. Trust your
But Poppeck can still get back to his feet. He only really has one leg tied up. The other one is just with the arm. So if he can base up and get that right leg behind him as he blades his body, he can get back to his feet here.
Pull him off the cage. Pull him off the cage.
Wow. His control on how he traps the legs. I mean, take somebody's legs away from them. They're at your will. And that's why I think he controls him when he gets him to the ground, because his leg game is just, it's incredible.
And almost on cue, Alexander Poppeck is able to free his legs. Now he's got double underhooks. Head position as well for the German. Reversed by Johnson, who ducks all the way under, but slips out the back door. Alexander Poppeck, nice counter wrestling there. And there's blood on the side of his head. Is that from Taylor Johnson, or did the ear pop?
130.
Couple of jabs there from Alexander Poppeck.
Throw back, brother. Let's go back.
And this is where Poppeck needs to start putting that pressure after Taylor was working hard to try to keep him down and utilize his wrestling. This is where Poppeck can kind of take advantage and do something to impress the judges to win this round, and of course impress our panelists as well.
Not only fighting for a win on their records, one fighter, one of our 4 winners tonight, will receive a contract from the Professional Fighters League. Win a contract, become a millionaire. That's the goal for all of these individuals. No guarantee you'll get invited to the regular season, at least not in season 4 starting in April. But what about next year? What about the next year? You want to be part of the pipeline for the Professional Fighters League.
30 seconds. Time it. Double.
And to be honest, at 205 pounds, guys like Shoeface, Emiliano Sordi still in that talent pool. It's not like we've had a 2 or 3 season dominant champion at 205 pounds, like in some of the other weight classes.
Good there.
Heavy combination there by Taylor Johnson.
Yes.
Nice body shot. The left-handed follow-it from Poppeck. Johnson looks to steal another takedown before the end of the round. The German defends. Very interesting second round here. You saw the successful wrestling once again from Taylor Johnson, but a much briefer period of control for him. And you see the blood and damage on the face of Taylor Johnson. So Alexander Poppeck had a little bit more offensive success with the striking there.
Yeah, that's right. Here's that 1-2 there from Poppeck, utilizing those long-range weapons. He's the taller, rangier guy, and he used it very well in round 2. There's another little blitz that seemed to stun Taylor a little bit. Taylor with a nice level change there, went for that knee tap. Able to change levels yet again and was persistent. Got that double leg, controlled the legs very well there for a moment. Able to follow up. I'm really curious to see how the corners are going to come into play here, guys. I mean, very even fight so far, it seems. And what are they telling their fighters at this pivotal moment here?
Look, it's great to impress the fans who have a vote. It's great to impress the celebrity panelists that have a vote. But first, you've got to win the fight. And this one may very well be a round apiece on the judges' scorecards. Alexander Poppeck, German prospect in the dark Vale-Tudo trunks. Taylor Johnson, the American, in the light gray. Johnson, a former collegiate wrestler, actually an NAIA wrestling champion, coming in aggressively.
And these guys have stayed busy, Sean. I'm impressed with their conditioning. They've stayed in each other's faces. They've been aggressive. Taylor with his wrestling and Poppeck, of course, with the striking. Kick went a little low there.
I never want that. I never want that. My God.
An apologetic Taylor Johnson.
Apologies. You know what I'm saying.
Good display of sportsmanship. Inadvertent low blow. Poppeck now switching to a southpaw stance temporarily, as does Johnson. Body kick, then a high kick from Alexander Poppeck. Another body kick from Taylor Johnson. Oh, left hand lands and dropped Poppeck temporarily. Who now, beautiful huge toss from Taylor Johnson.
Man, Taylor had a lot of confidence in those heavy hands, and that's exactly what he showed right there. Huge shot there by Johnson, and this may have won him the round so far. He's in a great position here. Had Poppeck hurt for sure.
Tell you what, Kenny, equally impressive to that left hand landing was the counter wrestling and the high amplitude toss.
Yeah, that was a beautiful throw.
Wow. When is more important than how. It's when you land it.
Wow.
Yes, let's go. Let's go, buddy.
3 minutes to go. 3 minutes to go.
Keep that underhook.
If you're Alexander Poppeck, this is not a place you want to be, under a former All-American and national champion wrestler in half guard.
No, he's trying to work for that underhook. See if he can get to the side of his hip and get back to his feet here. Taylor knows exactly what he wants to do, though, and doing a good job of winning head position, getting that underhook back, and driving that forearm into the neck of Poppeck.
Yes. Yes.
This is where experience really comes into play. And fighting high-level competition like Taylor has, you see him very composed. He's doing exactly what he needs to do to keep Poppeck on his back here.
And what did Ian Parker tell us when he was given the pick for this fight? He said Alexander Poppeck has a lot of skills. He's an impressive physical specimen, but every time he's been on the big stage, he's come up short so far in his career. He's about 2 minutes away from potentially losing this one as he goes for a leg lock to get himself out. Johnson is able to escape it, spin back around. Ian Parker, you told us that Poppeck comes up short in situations like this one when you were picking this fight. Is the same thing happening right now?
It looks that way, and you know, we talked about Taylor Johnson's IQ, what he had to get done here, and you know, the first round he leaned on his wrestling. The second round, I think it went to Poppeck, and in the third round, he came out aggressive. You know, I believe you and Kenny both mentioned Poppeck's base was a little too square, almost like he was so worried about the takedown, which really did then open up Johnson's striking. So when you're a dominant wrestler and the guy's getting taken down at will, we see it often. It left it open for Taylor to land that left hook, and then since then, it's been all Johnson this round. I think he's going to get the decision win here.
Yeah, that's the value of having well-rounded skills and heavy hands like Taylor does.
Taylor Johnson wrestling into his own corner here. Fabiano Scherner offering some advice to the American.
So far, Poppeck just doesn't have an answer right now to this body lock here.
Poppeck able to get himself out the window, and now
Beautiful back take.
Taylor Johnson has 30 seconds left to try and sneak a finish in.
Poppeck's got to be careful as he's bridging. He's opening up that space underneath the neck. Taylor might be able to get a finish here. Oh, gets right in the mount. Nice transition there by Johnson.
Strong right hand and then a left from Taylor Johnson, who now pours it on.
Oh, yeah.
Good scramble underneath from Alexander Poppeck, but Taylor Johnson will finish the round and the fight on top. Taylor Johnson. Round one maybe, round three maybe. We'll find out what the judges thought of this one.
Wow.
Man.
I'm talking about Taylor Johnson's game, brawler. He's a straight brawler. He is so dominant on the ground, Ty, that, wow.
But he also appreciated the moment.
Yeah.
He went out there and said, I got to get this round.
Yeah.
He went out there and got that round. He took that round.
Absolutely.
Sure.
I mean, he finished strong. He looked like Johnny Big Rig Henderson. Remember?
Yeah.
He clipped him on the top of his head and took him down and wrestled and brought it home.
Wow.
Brought that Johnson & Johnson.
So our celebrity panelists
Yeah, that's right. Really, it came down to whoever was kind of leading the dance. And when Poppeck was backing up Taylor Johnson, he was very successful, but it was that big overhand left there from Taylor Johnson that got it done. And how about this counter throw from Taylor Johnson in round 3? Almost went right into Mount as well. Ended up getting Mount to end the round. Tremendous overall game there from Taylor Johnson. And here's that beautiful back take there from Taylor Johnson. Looked like he was gonna get close to that rear naked choke when Poppeck was opening up that chin. But didn't matter, he's able to transition very well, get right into Mount. Showed some good experience there and patience and composure. Did it come down to that round 3? Sean, back to you.
Thank you, Kenny. After 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. All 3 judges score at 29-28 for your winner, Taylor Tombstone Johnson.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank this freaking guy, man. Holy crap. Bless you, man. Bless you. You're freaking stuff. Oh my gosh, this guy. Dude.
All right, Taylor Johnson.
Dude, you guys are tough, man. Holy crap. Thank you, good sir. Thank you. God bless you guys.
All right, PFL Challenger Series debut successful. Let's talk about the strategy. Used the wrestling in round number 1, round 2. Seemed content mostly to stand, and then back to the wrestling in round 3.
My goal was this fight, win, lose, or draw. I was going to come out and try to be a master and control myself. If anyone's watched my previous fights, I come out like a wild man, trying to body people in the first round. But, you know, this is a tough opponent. Many of the guys I'm going to face are going to be tough. So putting 15 minutes worth of work together is what's important. I tried to display that in this fight.
Well, in the 3rd round, you were able to clip him with that winging left hand. Did you think you'd be able to get the finish after that?
Potentially. But, again, I'm trying to force things. I might not have been able to hold top position and, you know, keep dominating there. So trying to be more intelligent, not such a, I guess, a beast, you could say.
All right, well, a win is a win. Let's see what the celebrity panelists thought about it. JSB?
Sean, Taylor Johnson with a dominant 3rd round. Ray, we saw the reactions. What was unique about his performance?
Taylor Johnson's ground game is out of control. I love what he does when he gets people on the ground.
Tyron Woodley, what stood out about his performance tonight?
I mean, we're not going to sit and act like we didn't just see him with the Shakira hips during the announcement, but he utilized that for the hip throw. He utilized that for the takedown. Utilized it to get out of bad position. So him utilizing his wrestling background really got him the victory.
Absolutely.
Hands down.
Piven, does this guy still scare you coming out of his car?
Absolutely. You set up that takedown with that overhand left, and just like your tattoo says, you are relentless.
All right, thanks, guys. Sean, back to you.
All right, thank you, gentlemen and Julie. All right, so Tyron Woodley said you got the Shakira hips. The hips don't lie. Yeah. Jeremy Piven told us that if a guy like you gets out of his car on the freeway, it's going to be a bad day. You're not the type of guy that's going to get out of his car on the freeway.
If someone's in danger, I will be the first out to make sure nothing goes bad. But no, I try to keep my cool, man. Smiles is what you see.
Taylor Johnson, hero and winner tonight on the PFL Challenger Series. Will it be enough to impress the fans? Don't forget to go vote. The celebrity panelists seem to like it.